You are here right now, not by chance. Not because someone told you to watch, not because luck has smiled upon you, and not because life is simply unfolding randomly. There is an invisible force pulling you toward this momenta, force you cannot see, yet feel in the very depths of your being. It's subtle, yet undeniable. That feeling behind your chest, that quiet nudge in your mind. That inner knowing you've experienced countless times without understanding why. This is the intelligence that has guided you your entire life. Orchestrating the perfect sequence of events to bring you to this point. Every synchronicity you've noticed, every uncanny coincidence, every time the universe seemed to pause and give you a message, those were not random. Those were signposts, signals from a reality beyond ordinary perception, leading you toward a state of alignment that most people never even suspect exists. You may have brushed these moments off in the past, calling them luck, chance, or imagination. But deep down, you've always known that something more is happening. That reality itself is responding to the subtle frequency of your awareness. Think about the times you felt drawn to someone, somewhere, or something, without knowing why, only to discover later that it was precisely what you needed. Think about the moments when answers appeared effortlessly, when understanding seemed to arrive before you even asked the question. That is the intelligence of the invisible force at work, guiding you not with logic, but with the language of energy, intuition, and resonance. It is subtle, yet unrelenting. It moves through your life with the precision of a master composer, aligning the circumstances, people, and information you need to advance your purpose. You are here because your consciousness has reached a threshold, a point where your awareness is now ready to recognize, engage with, and amplify this force. It is calling you to step beyond the ordinary patterns of cause and effect, beyond the familiar limitations of what you have been taught to believe is possible. You are being asked to awaken to a new reality, one where your thoughts, emotions, and intentions are not just private experiences, but instruments that shape the world around you. Right now, as you listen, your nervous system is responding. Your cells are aligning. Your body is remembering what your mind may have forgotten, that you are not separate from this intelligent, unseen field. You are connected, and you are part of an intricate web of energy, consciousness, and creation. This is the threshold of your quantum awakening. The moment you recognize the presence of this invisible force and align with it consciously, everything in your life begins to shift, not gradually, not in some distant future, but instantly, in ways that are perfectly calibrated to your highest potential. You are not here by accident. You are here because the universe has been waiting for you to awaken. And now, everything you have experienced, every struggle, every unanswered question, every fleeting moment of clarity has led you to this exact point, where you can finally recognize and harness the invisible force that has been guiding you all along. Quantum coherence is not an abstract idea. It is not some distant theoretical concept reserved for scientists in labs or mystics in remote temples. It is a living, breathing state of consciousness that is already within you, waiting to be activated. And the moment you step into it, the very fabric of your reality begins to shift. The world you once believed was solid, fixed, and predictable suddenly becomes fluid, responsive, and aligned with the frequencies you are now embodying. You've experienced glimpses of this before. Moments when everything seemed to fall into place effortlessly, when solutions appeared without struggle, when you felt an uncanny connection to people, places, or events as if unseen threads were guiding your steps. Those were moments when your consciousness was briefly coherent with the quantum field, when your inner state matched the intelligence of the universe. And now, you are being invited to awaken to that state consciously, intentionally, fully. Quantum coherence begins with alignment of your heart, your mind, and your body. When your thoughts, feelings, and energy are synchronized, you create a resonance that radiates outward, That resonance interacts with the quantum field, the underlying informational matrix of reality, which responds not to your doubts or fears, but to the clarity of your intention. In that moment, the impossible begins to feel inevitable. The invisible becomes visible. Opportunities, resources, and connections emerge as if they have been waiting for your coherence to call them into form. Imagine your consciousness as a tuning fork, vibrating at a specific frequency. When it resonates clearly, it sends waves across the fabric of existence, harmonizing with the greater field of energy around you. Every decision you make, every thought you entertain, every feeling you cultivate carries this frequency. And when your consciousness reaches coherence, your entire being becomes a conduit for creation, a living instrument that transforms potential into reality. This awakening is not about learning more information or accumulating spiritual knowledge. It is about remembering who you truly are, a conscious creator capable of influencing the quantum field in real time. It is about feeling the electric pulse of life beneath the surface of ordinary reality and trusting it to guide you. It is about recognizing that every moment contains signals, opportunities, and alignments designed specifically for your growth and expression. As your awareness expands, you begin to notice subtle shifts. Patterns that once seemed chaotic now have purpose. Connections that seemed random now have meaning. The world itself becomes responsive, reflecting the coherence you hold within. And the most remarkable part, you no longer need to chase outcomes, control circumstances, or force results. The quantum field does not resist. It amplifies what is coherent. It responds instantly to the clarity of your consciousness. This is your awakening to quantum coherence. It is the moment you move from being a passive observer of life to an active participant in creation. It is the threshold where intention meets reality, where thought and energy converge to produce tangible results, and where your highest potential is no longer a dream, but a living, unfolding experience happening now. What if I told you that your body is far more than a vessel for living, thinking, and moving through the world? What if I told you that every cell, every neuron, every heartbeat is a sophisticated instrument, finely tuned to interact with the universe itself? You've been living inside a quantum instrument your entire life, but most people never realize its true power. Most people see their body as something separate from reality, as a biological machine reacting to circumstances rather than a living antenna, receiving and transmitting information from the very fabric of existence right now. Your body is responding to frequencies you can't see, sounds you can't hear, and information you can't consciously detect. Your DNA carries ancient intelligence, waiting to reconnect with the universal codes of creation. Your heart produces a magnetic field that extends beyond your body, interacting with the electromagnetic environment around you, your nervous system. It's constantly receiving signals from the quantum field, even when your mind is distracted, busy, or doubting. Every thought, every emotion, every intention you carry pulses through this instrument, broadcasting signals that shape not only your perception, but the reality around you. When your consciousness aligns with your body, you unlock an entirely new level of awareness. Coherence begins to emerge inside, and your body becomes a transmitter, projecting your intentions into the field of possibilities. That subtle tension in your chest, that sudden rush of clarity, that inexplicable energy rising from within you, are feeling your quantum instrument coming online? Your cells begin to resonate with frequencies far beyond ordinary experience. And suddenly, you are not just living in reality, you are participating in the creation of it. This is why physical sensations matter. Every shift in posture, every breath, every heartbeat is a code that communicates directly with the quantum field. When you cultivate alignment in your body, when your nervous system is calm and receptive, you become capable of receiving intelligence that cannot be processed through logic alone. Your intuition awakens, and insights arrive with perfect timing, as if life itself were whispering instructions to you. Opportunities, resources, and people appear not randomly, but in exact correspondence with the signal your body is emitting. Your body is not passive. It is active, intelligent, and deeply connected. The way you hold tension, the patterns of stress, even the way you breathe can interfere with or enhance your ability to communicate with the quantum field. This is why ancient practices like meditation, breathwork, and mindful movement have persisted across cultures. They are techniques designed to fine-tune the body as an instrument of creation. By consciously engaging your body in this way, you increase its sensitivity, sharpen its frequency, and amplify your ability to shape reality instantly. Right now, as you listen to these words, your body is waking up to its own power. Each cell is receiving information, recalibrating and aligning with the intelligence that governs all existence. You are not just a human being. You are a dynamic system, a living instrument capable of projecting your consciousness into the field of infinite possibilities. And the moment you fully embrace this truth, the universe responds, not gradually, not in some far-off future, but immediately, reflecting the coherence that now vibrates through every fiber of your being. Your body is your first and most powerful tool in this awakening. Treat it as such. Feel it. Listen to it. Align it, because this is the gateway through which quantum coherence becomes tangible, real, and unstoppable in your life. Have you ever noticed that when you are fully aligned, when your thoughts, emotions, and intentions are clear, things seem to happen effortlessly? Doors open, conversations flow, opportunities appear as if by magic. That is not coincidence. That is the universe responding directly to the coherence you are holding inside. When your inner state is aligned, reality itself mirrors it instantly. This is the quantum feedback loop, a mechanism of nature that responds to the energy you radiate before you even take action. Every thought you have, every feeling you carry, sends a signal into the quantum field. This field, which underlies all of existence, is infinitely responsive, intelligent, and precise. It does not judge. It does not doubt. It simply reflects back the frequency you are emitting. When you are fragmented, unclear, or fearful, the world mirrors that uncertainty. When you are coherent, centered, and aligned, the world bends in ways that serve your highest purpose. And the more you learn to hold this alignment, the more rapid and precise the feedback becomes. Think about times when you visualized or intended something with clarity, and then, seemingly without effort, it manifested in your life. That is your feedback loop in action. The universe is responding instantaneously to the state of your consciousness. It is not responding to wishful thinking or fleeting desires. It responds to the resonance of your being, the coherence that arises when your mind, heart, and body are synchronized. This loop is subtle at first. You may notice small signs: an unexpected call, a chance encounter, a solution appearing exactly when you need it. But as your coherence strengthens, these responses grow more powerful, more obvious, and impossible to ignore. Opportunities start to align perfectly. Resources appear at the right moment, and the people you need step into your life naturally. Life begins to feel less like a struggle and more like a dance with intelligence itself, where every step is guided, supported, and perfectly timed. The key to amplifying this feedback loop is not a fortitude, his presence. It is the quality of your awareness, the clarity of your intention, and the emotional resonance you carry. When you are fully present, fully aligned, and emotionally coherent, the quantum field cannot help but respond. The universe becomes a mirror reflecting your internal state with extraordinary accuracy. And the more you practice sustaining that coherence, the more your life becomes a continuous stream of alignment, synchronicity, and effortless manifestation. You are already receiving these signals every day, whether you notice them or not. Moments of insight, sudden clarity, or unexplained guidance are all indicators that your quantum feedback loop is working. The challenge is to recognize, trust, and respond to them consciously. The moment you do, life stops being a series of random events and starts being a direct reflection of the energy and coherence you carry. This is why alignment matters more than action. Effort alone cannot create the same results that coherence can. When you operate from a coherent state, reality responds instantly. The world bends, aligns, and adjusts itself to match the frequency of your consciousness. And once you understand this, you realize that everything you have ever wanted, success, connection, clarity, abundance, is not out there waiting. It is already responding to the reality you are emitting from within. Your feedback loop is real, powerful, and waiting for you to take full command. The universe is not separate from you. It is listening, responding, and aligning itself in real time with the coherence of your being. Have you ever been so fully absorbed in a moment that time seemed to vanish? Hours passed in what felt like seconds, or a few minutes stretched into what seemed like eternity. That isn't imagination. That is the natural result of your consciousness beginning to operate beyond the ordinary constraints of linear time. In these moments, you are touching what scientists call coherent time, a state where past, present, and future converge, where your awareness is so unified that the ordinary rules of chronology no longer apply. When you are coherent, deeply present, and fully aligned, time no longer dominates your experience, it responds to it. Your perception becomes fluid. You start to notice patterns, insights, and opportunities that others completely miss because their consciousness is fragmented, scattered, or bound to linear thinking. The moments you experience when life feels magical are not random. They are glimpses of reality as it truly is when your awareness vibrates in resonance with the quantum field. Think about those rare instances when everything clicks effortlessly. A project unfolds exactly as you envisioned. A conversation flows perfectly. Without conscious effort, you suddenly know what to say, what to do, and how to act, and the results appear in perfect harmony. That is not luck. That is coherent time aligning with your conscious intention. When you operate in this state consistently, you begin to see that the universe doesn't follow a rigid timeline. It responds to the resonance of your consciousness in real time. This state is not just about efficiency or productivity. It is about depth, presence, and connection. When you exist in coherent time, you are fully aware of yourself and the world around you. You experience life with heightened sensitivity. Emotions, thoughts, and interactions carry richer meaning. You can sense underlying currents in people's behavior, anticipate challenges before they manifest, and navigate circumstances with an almost instinctive understanding. Your consciousness begins to perceive information directly from the quantum field without the filter of memory or logic. Moments beyond time are also moments of extraordinary clarity. You can access insights that seem impossible, solutions that appear out of nowhere, and guidance that transcends ordinary reasoning. It is as if your mind, body, and intuition are aligned in a single coherent stream of awareness, allowing you to interact with the universe at its most fundamental level. These are the moments when your life begins to flow effortlessly, when synchronicities multiply, and when the intelligence of the cosmos feels intimately connected to your own being. The challenge is to sustain this state beyond fleeting moments. Most people experience it rarely, mistaking it for luck or coincidence. But it is not. Rare. It is available to everyone. Coherent time is accessible whenever your consciousness reaches the necessary level of alignment. The more you practice presence, the more you cultivate coherence in your mind and body. The more these moments expand from fleeting glimpses into sustained states of awareness. When you fully embrace these moments, begin to realize that the past does not bind you, the future does not scare you, and the present is far richer than you ever imagined. Time becomes a tool, a mirror, and a resource, reflecting the state of your consciousness back to you with astonishing accuracy. This is the power of operating beyond linear time. Your awareness, your intentions, and your coherence shape reality itself. Have you ever had a sudden knowing, a thought that arrived fully formed, an answer to a question you hadn't even asked aloud, or a decision that felt unquestionably right? That is intuition, your mind and body receiving guidance from the quantum field, a form of intelligence far beyond ordinary logic. Intuition is not random. It is the communication system of the universe, delivering the precise information you need to act, create, and align with your highest potential. Every human being has access to this intelligence, but most ignore it, doubt it, or dismiss it as coincidence. What sets you apart is that your consciousness is now tuned to receive these subtle signals with clarity. When your awareness is coherent, your intuition becomes remarkably accurate, effortlessly guiding you through choices, decisions, and moments that previously would have felt overwhelming or uncertain. It is like having a silent mentor within you, an inner GPS that knows the path, even when your mind cannot see it. Synchronization is the natural result of tuning in to this intelligence. When your internal state aligns with the quantum field, your life begins to reflect that alignment externally. Opportunities appear at exactly the right time. Connections form with people who support your purpose, and solutions emerge to problems that once seemed unsolvable. This is not magic. It is the universe responding instantly to the clarity, resonance, and coherence of your consciousness. You think it, feel it, embody it, and the field rearranges itself to match your frequency. Consider how often you have felt drawn to someone, somewhere, or something without knowing why, only to discover later that it was exactly what you needed. That is synchronization in action. Your consciousness is communicating with the intelligence of existence, and when you honor it, life unfolds as if guided by invisible hands. The deeper your alignment, the more powerful the synchronization becomes, until the outer world mirrors your inner state with remarkable precision. The power of intuition also lies in its subtlety. It does not shout, argue, or demand. It whispers. It nudges. It manifests as feelings, thoughts, and insights that seem to arrive effortlessly. The challenge is to quiet the noise of doubt, fear, and distraction so that you can hear it clearly. When you do, you begin to act from a place of resonance rather than reaction, from a state of knowing rather than guessing, from coherence rather than chaos. As this power grows, you begin to notice patterns and connections that others miss. You sense the emotional atmosphere in a room, anticipate challenges before they manifest, and intuit solutions with uncanny accuracy. Your life begins to flow with less struggle and more grace because your actions are guided by intelligence that tally-mate. May life stays the emotional atmosphere in a womb, and acquisibly intelligence, and acquisity. Your sisicite may taui. Y.live, commit sisity, to base commit, commicity, may sisity I is, they is salai. By I conside samig bra kawid, may ceasely it sika gradit, gig sit as a suka get it kai lits its kabi to kaipit bitter to sikik it is it glass stid kiss it the sit lotus cantis the greet to split like at this the days is good princess sits with bent have sick says this transcends linear thinking. Every choice, every movement, every interaction becomes informed by a field of knowledge that is infinitely larger than any one mind could contain. Intuition and synchronization are the natural expressions of coherent consciousness. When you honor them, you begin to operate as a conscious co-creator with the universe, capable of shaping reality, influencing outcomes, and moving through life with confidence, precision, and grace. This is the power that has always been within you. It is simply awakening now, responding to the frequency you are radiating. Every challenge you faced, every obstacle that seemed impossible, every moment when life pushed you beyond what you thought you could handle, it wasn't random. It wasn't punishment, luck, or misfortune. It was precision training designed to develop the level of coherence necessary to operate at your highest potential. Pressure is the universal teacher, and when harnessed consciously, it becomes the catalyst that transforms scattered, fragmented consciousness into the unified, powerful state required to influence reality. Think of light. Ordinary light scatters in every direction, diffuse, unfocused, easily absorbed. But when that same light is forced into coherence, it becomes a laser-focused, intense, capable of cutting through barriers that ordinary light cannot penetrate. Your consciousness operates the same way. When pressure forces all the scattered, chaotic elements of your mind, heart, and energy to organize into alignment, your awareness becomes focused, amplified, and extraordinary. You are no longer reacting to life, you are directing it. Every time you felt stretched to your limits, every time an old pattern no longer worked, every time a relationship, career, or circumstance fell apart, your coherence was being tested, refined, and strengthened. That pain, discomfort, or uncertainty was never a punishment. It was the necessary friction to awaken your latent potential. Without that pressure, your consciousness would remain fragmented, unable to access the intuitive intelligence, synchronicity, and quantum alignment that is now becoming available to you. Consider the moments when you were forced to find strength you didn't know you had. Perhaps a relationship ended abruptly, a dream seemed unattainable, or a sudden loss threatened to derail everything. Most people crumble under these pressures, reacting with fear, avoidance, or resignation. But you, because you have been developing coherence, have begun to rise above. You have learned to stay present, to remain conscious, and to keep your heart open even when everything within you wanted to shut down. That is coherence, resilience, the ability to maintain alignment under intensity, and it is the gateway to quantum mastery. Pressure also filters your energy. It removes what is incompatible with your evolving consciousness. People, environments, and habits that no longer serve you naturally fall away, leaving space for higher frequency experiences to enter. The very circumstances that once felt like obstacles are actually preparing the ground for your accelerated growth. The stress, the friction, the tension, they are shaping you into an instrument of coherence, ready to interact with the universe at its most fundamental level. When you understand this, you stop fearing difficulty. You begin to recognize it as the signal that you are on the right path, that your consciousness is stretching into coherence. Your frequency is rising, and your reality is preparing to respond. Pressure becomes your teacher, your ally, and your most powerful tool for transformation. Every challenge, every moment of intensity is an invitation. It is the universe saying, align, focus, awaken. You are ready to operate at a higher frequency than ever before. When you accept this, you no longer resist pressure, you leverage it. You transform it into a springboard, and in that transformation, coherence becomes unstoppable.